The world is full of distractions, notifications, demands, and an endless stream of responsibilities pull you in every direction. But here's a harsh truth. Your energy isn't just slipping away. It's being stolen. Every moment you feel drained, unfocused, or overwhelmed, there's a system, a habit, or even a person siphoning your life force. The good news, you can take it back. But first, you need to understand what's really happening. Let's dive deep. Energy is not just about how awake or tired you feel. It's your essence, your focus, your ability to create, connect, and thrive. When your energy is hijacked, you're no longer in control. It's like being a puppet on strings, reacting to the world instead of intentionally living in it. But where is it going? And how can you reclaim it? The first culprit is mental clutter. Think about it. How many thoughts race through your mind every day? Studies showed the average person has around 6,000 thoughts per day. But how many of those thoughts are productive? How many serve you? The truth is, most of them don't. Worry, doubt, and endless loops of overthinking hijack your mental space. When your mind is cluttered, your energy leaks away like water from a cracked dam. The first step to taking it back is to become aware. Pause. Notice the patterns. Are you constantly worrying about things beyond your control? Are you replaying past conversations or stressing over future ones? This awareness is your power. Once you see the clutter, you can begin to clear it. The second hijacker is external noise. And no, I'm not just talking about the literal noise, though that doesn't help. It's the endless stream of media, advertisements, and distractions designed to pull you in. Every app on your phone, every headline, every autoplay video, it's all engineered to steal your attention and with it, your energy. To fight back, you need boundaries. Start small. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Set limits on how often you check social media. Protect your mornings. Don't let your phone be the first thing you see when you wake up. These small changes add up, creating space for your energy to stay where it belongs, with you. Then there are the people in your life. Some relationships energize you, filling you with life and inspiration, but others drain you. You know the ones I'm talking about, the people who constantly complain, criticize, or demand your time without giving anything in return. These energy vampires may not mean to harm you, but their impact is the same. To protect your energy, you have to set boundaries. This doesn't mean cutting people off or being cold. It means valuing your time and emotional well-being enough to say no. When necessary, it's not selfish, it's self-preservation. Let's talk about habits. Your energy is also hijacked by the choices you make every day. Staying up late scrolling on your phone, eating food that leaves you feeling sluggish, skipping exercise because you're too tired. These habits create a vicious cycle. The more drained you feel, the harder it is to make choices that replenish your energy. Breaking this cycle starts with one simple decision. Maybe it's going to bed 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's swapping one unhealthy meal for something nourishing. Maybe it's a 5-minute walk outside. Small changes lead to momentum, and momentum leads to transformation. And then there's your environment. Your surroundings have a profound impact on your energy. Cluttered spaces create cluttered minds. Harsh lighting, noise, and chaos sap your strength. On the flip side, a clean, calm, and intentional space can recharge you. Take a look around. What does your space say about your energy? Is it helping you thrive, or is it draining you? Start by decluttering one area, a desk, a corner, a single drawer. The act of creating order can have a ripple effect, clearing your mind and restoring your energy. One of the biggest energy hijackers is comparison. Social media makes it worse, offering a constant highlight reel of other people's lives. It's easy to feel like you're not doing enough, not achieving enough, not enough. But here's the truth. Comparison is a lie. It drains your energy because it shifts your focus outward instead of inward. To take your energy back, practice gratitude. Focus on what you have, what you've achieved, and what makes you unique. Gratitude shifts your energy from lack to abundance, reminding you that you are enough just as you are. Another hidden hijacker is indecision. Every time you delay a decision, you leave a piece of your energy tied up in uncertainty. Should I do this or that? What if I make the wrong choice? These thoughts weigh you down, stealing your focus and your drive. The solution? Simplify. Trust your gut. Make decisions quickly and commit to them. Even if they're not perfect, you'll have more energy to adjust and move forward than if you stayed stuck in indecision. Finally, remember this: your energy is yours. It's not selfish to protect it, it's essential. When you reclaim your energy, you're not just improving your life, you're creating a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. You're showing up as your best, most vibrant self, inspiring others to do the same. So take a deep breath. Look around. Where is your energy being hijacked? What small step can you take today to reclaim it? The power is in your hands. And once you take it back, everything changes. Energy theft isn't always loud and obvious. It's often subtle and insidious. One of the biggest culprits is external noise. And I'm not just talking about sounds in the background. The noise I'm referring to is the constant stream of distractions designed to hijack your focus, attention, and ultimately, your energy. Think about your phone for a moment. Every notification you get, the dings, pings, and vibrations, is a demand for your attention. These interruptions don't just take up time. They pull your mind away from what you're doing, leaving you scattered and unfocused. Studies show it takes an average of 23 minutes to refocus after an interruption. Now multiply that by how often your phone lights up in a single day. That's hours of your mental energy gone. But it doesn't stop there. Your energy is also drained by the invisible algorithms working behind the scenes. Social media platforms, streaming services, and even news outlets are designed to hold your attention as long as possible. Every next episode button, every endless scroll. They're not accidents, they're deliberate traps. And the price you pay isn't just your time, it's your energy, your creativity, and your peace of mind. So, how do you fight back? It starts with boundaries. Your phone, your laptop, your TV, they're tools, not masters. Reclaim control by deciding when and how you engage with them. Turn off notifications that aren't essential. Designate specific times of the day to check email or social media instead of letting them interrupt you whenever they please. You don't need to be available 24/7. Another powerful strategy is protecting your mornings. The first thing you do when you wake up sets the tone for the rest of your day. If the first thing you see is a screen, emails, texts, headlines, you're starting the day on someone else's terms. Instead, try keeping your morning screen-free for the first 30 minutes. Use that time to journal, meditate, stretch, or simply enjoy a cup of coffee in silence. you'll be amazed at how much more energized and focused you feel throughout the day. And let's not forget about digital detoxes. Taking a break from technology, even for an hour or two, can work wonders for your mental energy. Put your phone in another room. Go for a walk without earbuds. Read a book. These moments of disconnection allow your mind to reset, recharge, and refocus. Here's the bottom line. External noise doesn't just steal your attention, it hijacks your energy at the deepest level. But you're not powerless. By setting boundaries, protecting your mornings, and carving out moments of silence, you can take back control. You'll start to notice a shift, a quiet strength returning to your mind and body, and once you reclaim that strength, you'll realize just how much of your energy had been slipping away unnoticed. Not all energy theft comes from screens and devices. Some of the most draining forces in your life are the people around you. Energy vampires. You've probably heard the term. These aren't literal vampires, of course, but they have a similar effect. They leave you feeling depleted after every interaction. These are the people who constantly complain but never take action. The ones who dominate every conversation, making it all about them. They thrive on drama, negativity, and emotional chaos, and they bring all of that into your space, whether you invite it or not. Here's the thing. Everyone gets tired, stressed, or upset sometimes. That's normal. But when someone is constantly drawn from your emotional reserves without giving anything back, that's when it crosses into dangerous territory. Their negativity doesn't just weigh on your mood, it actively hijacks your energy. Now you might be wondering, how do I handle this without cutting people out of my life entirely? It's not always about walking away. It's about creating boundaries. Start by noticing patterns. Who leaves you feeling drained after a conversation? Whose presence fills you with tension or dread? These aren't things to ignore. They're signals that your energy is being taken. Once you identify these patterns, you can take action. One powerful tool is limit setting. That might mean reducing the time you spend with certain people or choosing where and how those interactions happen. For example, instead of having a 2-hour phone call with someone who constantly complains, you might limit it to 20 minutes or choose to meet in a neutral, calming space like a park. Another tactic is guarding your emotional energy. Not every problem needs your involvement, and not every request deserves a yes. When someone tries to pull you into their drama, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this my responsibility? Is this worth my energy? If the answer is no, it's okay to disengage. You're not being cruel. You're protecting your well-being. But what about people you can't avoid, like co-workers or family members? In these cases, practice emotional detachment. That doesn't mean being cold or unkind. It means not letting their energy dictate yours. Picture their negativity like a storm passing by. You can observe it without getting caught up in it. Techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness, or even visualizing a protective bubble around yourself can help you stay grounded. And here's an important reminder. Energy vampires aren't always external. Sometimes the most draining force in your life is your own inner critic. You know the voice, the one that second guesses every decision, replays every mistake, and magnifies every flaw. That voice takes up space in your mind and zaps your energy before you even realize it. To quiet that inner critic, Start by practicing self-compassion. Treat yourself the way you'd treat a friend who's struggling. Challenge negative thoughts with evidence and perspective. And remember, perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. Ultimately, taking back your energy from people, whether external or internal, requires courage. It's not easy to say no, set boundaries, or confront your own inner dialogue. But every time you do, you reclaim a piece of your power. And with that power comes clarity, peace, and a renewed sense of control over your life. Let's talk about how the environments we live in drain or replenish our energy. Every space you interact with, your home, your workplace, even your car, has an energy of its own. And if you're not intentional about curating that space, it can quickly become a source of stress and exhaustion. Take a look around you right now. Is your environment chaotic or calm? Does it inspire you or does it weigh you down? The clutter on your desk, the clothes you've been meaning to fold, the notifications pinging on your devices, all of these things add up. They might seem small, but together they create a mental load that drains your energy, sometimes without you realizing it. One key principle here is energy flow. Clutter, for example, creates stagnation. It's hard to think clearly or feel at ease when your surroundings are filled with things you don't need or that no longer serve you. Think of it like carrying a heavy backpack all day. You don't realize how much it's slowing you down until you take it off. Decluttering your space has the same effect. It frees up mental and emotional space for what truly matters. Start small. Pick one area, maybe your desk or a corner of your living room, and make it a place of clarity and calm. Remove anything that feels like visual noise. Keep only what sparks joy or has a clear purpose. And remember, this isn't about achieving perfection. It's about creating an environment that supports your energy rather than depleting it. But physical clutter is only part of the equation. There's also digital clutter. Think about your phone for a moment. How many notifications are you bombarded with daily? How many apps do you scroll through mindlessly? Every ping, every buzz, every red badge on your screen pulls your attention away and siphons your energy. To reclaim your digital space, try setting boundaries. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Schedule specific times to check your email or social media instead of being on call 24/7. Create folders or filters to organize your digital life so it doesn't feel like an endless, chaotic stream of information. And don't be afraid to disconnect entirely. A few hours or even a full day away from screens can do wonders for your energy levels. Another powerful practice is incorporating elements that recharge your energy into your environment. Natural light, for example, can have a huge impact on your mood and focus. Open your blinds during the day or spend some time outside. Plants are another simple but effective tool. They purify the air and bring a sense of life and calm to your space. Sound and scent also play a role. Gentle music, calming essential oils like lavender or eucalyptus, or even the sound of running water can create a sense of peace. Your environment doesn't have to be fancy or perfect. It just needs to feel good to you. And finally, think about your routines. Within these spaces, are you stuck in patterns that drain your energy, like eating meals in front of your laptop or staying up late watching TV? These habits may feel harmless, but over time, they erode your energy reserves. Instead, create rituals that help you transition between activities, like lighting a candle before you start working or doing a short meditation before bed. Your environment should be a place where you can recharge, not a source of stress. When you take the time to align your physical and digital spaces with your energy goals, you'll find that everything feels lighter, clearer, and more intentional. This is your space. Make it work for you. Let's take this conversation deeper by exploring one of the most underestimated ways your energy is being hijacked, your habits and daily routines. The way you structure your day directly affects how much energy you have, where it goes, and whether it's replenished. The scary part? Many of us are unknowingly running on autopilot, locked into routines that are quietly draining us. Think about the first thing you do when you wake up. Do you immediately grab your phone, scrolling through social media or emails before you even get out of bed? If so, you're starting your day by giving your energy away. That tiny act of swiping your screen sends your focus outward instead of inward. You're letting external influences dictate your mental state before you've even had a chance to check in with yourself. It might seem harmless, but over time, this habit builds up. Your attention, your time, your mental clarity, they all leak out little by little. By the end of the day, you're left feeling exhausted, but you can't quite put your finger on why. That's because these small, mindless routines compound. And here's the truth. Wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. So how do you stop this drain? It starts with intentionality. Begin your day by creating space for yourself before the world gets a hold of you. Maybe that means meditating for 5 minutes, journaling your thoughts, or simply sitting in silence with your coffee. The goal is to ground yourself, to center your energy, so that you're starting the day from a place of control, not chaos. Another sneaky energy thief is multitasking. Society loves to glorify being busy, but the reality is that multitasking scatters your focus and fragments your energy. Research has shown that switching between tasks, even minor ones, burns more mental energy than staying focused on a single thing. It's like trying to pour water into 5 cups at once. Nothing gets filled, and you're left depleted. Instead of multitasking, try what's called monotasking. Dedicate yourself fully to one task at a time. If you're writing, just write. If you're cooking, just cook. When you focus your energy on a single thing, you not only conserve it, you amplify it. You'll find that you're not only more productive, but you also feel more grounded and less overwhelmed. Another big one, your environment. Take a moment to look around the space where you spend most of your time. Is it cluttered, messy, chaotic? Physical clutter has a direct impact on mental clarity. When your surroundings are disorganized, your mind often follows suit. It's like trying to focus on a task while someone's shouting in the background. You might get it done, but it's going to take a lot more effort. Clearing your space is a simple yet powerful way to take back your energy. Start small. Tidy up your desk, declutter your kitchen, or clean out your car. You don't need to overhaul your entire house overnight. The goal isn't perfection. It's creating an environment that feels calm, intentional, and aligned with the energy you want to cultivate. Now, let's talk about one of the most overlooked culprits, decision fatigue. Every choice you make throughout the day uses up a bit of your mental energy. From deciding what to wear, to what to eat, to how to respond to an email, it all adds up. By the time you get to the decisions that really matter, your energy reserves are running low. To combat decision fatigue, simplify your choices wherever you can. Create routines for the small stuff. Plan your meals in advance. Set a consistent schedule for your workouts. Pick out your clothes the night before. By automating these low-stakes decisions, you free up energy for the things that truly matter. Finally, let's talk about rest. Not just sleep, but true restorative rest. In a world that values productivity above all else, rest is often seen as lazy or indulgent. But here's the reality. Rest is not a luxury. It's a necessity. It's how you refill your energy tank. Without it, you're running on fumes, and no amount of caffeine or willpower can compensate for that. Rest doesn't just mean lying on the couch. It can be anything that recharges you. Reading a book, taking a walk, spending time in nature, or even just doing nothing for a few minutes. The key is to listen to your body and honor what it needs. When you prioritize rest, you're not wasting time. You're investing in your energy. Your daily habits are either fueling you or draining you. By making intentional choices about how you start your day, how you focus your energy, and how you recharge, you can stop the leaks and take back control. Remember, the little things you do every day are what ultimately shape your energy and, by extension, your life. Let's dive into the influence of external relationships, both personal and professional, on your energy. The people around you have a profound impact on your emotional and mental state. Some people uplift you, while others leave you feeling drained, as though they've siphoned off your energy without giving anything in return. Let's start with a tough truth. Not everyone in your life is meant to stay. Some relationships have an expiration date, especially when they're built on patterns of one-sided energy exchange. Think of the friend who constantly complains but never asks how you're doing, or the coworker who piles their responsibilities onto you while taking all the credit. Over time, these dynamics take a toll. But here's the thing. Sometimes the issue isn't the other person. It's your lack of boundaries. If you're always saying yes when you want to say no, or if you feel guilty for putting your needs first, you're giving away your energy on a silver platter. The good news is, this is something you can change. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to reclaim your energy. And no, boundaries aren't selfish, they're essential. When you communicate your limits clearly and consistently, you protect your emotional and mental resources. Start small. If someone asks for a favor and you're already overwhelmed, practice saying, "I wish I could help, but I don't have the capacity right now." It's not rude, it's honest. Now, let's talk about the people who give energy rather than take it. You know the ones. They inspire you, make you laugh, and leave you feeling more alive. These are your energy matches. Cultivate these relationships. Spend more time with people who align with your values, who encourage your growth, and who respect your boundaries. Their energy will uplift you, creating a positive feedback loop. But there's another layer to this. Sometimes, the energy you feel around others has less to do with them and more to do with you. Your perceptions, assumptions, and unresolved emotions can color your interactions. For example, if you're holding on to resentment or jealousy, it doesn't matter how kind the other person is. You'll still feel drained because you're projecting your internal struggles onto them. This is why self-awareness is critical. Regularly check in with yourself. Ask, am I carrying emotions that aren't serving me? Am I holding on to grudges that are weighing me down? Letting go of these emotional burdens is like cutting off a heavy backpack you've been carrying for years. It's freeing, and it opens up space for more positive energy to flow into your life. Now, let's shift gears a bit and discuss how societal expectations can hijack your energy. We live in a culture that glorifies hustle and grind, where busy is worn like a badge of honor. You're expected to always be on, always achieving, always striving for more. But this constant pressure can leave you feeling like you're on a treadmill, expending endless energy without ever feeling truly fulfilled. One way to break free from this cycle is to redefine success on your own terms. Instead of chasing external validation like promotions, accolades, or material possessions, focus on what genuinely brings you joy and purpose. Ask yourself, what does a successful day look like for me? Maybe it's spending quality time with loved ones, creating something meaningful, or simply feeling at peace. When you align your goals with your core values, you stop wasting energy on things that don't truly matter to you. Another societal drain is the comparison trap. Social media is a major culprit here. You scroll through highlight reels of other people's lives, and suddenly you feel like you're not doing enough, not achieving enough, not enough. This constant comparison zaps your energy because it shifts your focus outward instead of inward. The solution? Limit your exposure. Be mindful of how much time you spend on social media, and curate your feed to include accounts that inspire and uplift you rather than make you feel inadequate. And remember, everyone's path is unique. Just because someone else's life looks a certain way doesn't mean yours should too. Stay focused on your own journey. Finally, let's address one of the most overlooked aspects of energy management: joy. In the hustle of daily life, it's easy to get caught up in responsibilities and forget to make time for the things that light you up. But a joy isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's like fuel for your soul. Think about what truly makes you happy. It could be dancing, painting, gardening, playing with your pets, or exploring nature. Whatever it is, prioritize it. Schedule it into your week like you would a work meeting or a doctor's appointment. When you make space for joy, you replenish your energy in a way that no amount of rest or productivity ever could. Relationships, society, and joy, these are powerful forces that influence your energy every day. By setting boundaries, focusing on meaningful connections, and reclaiming your definition of success, you take back control. And when you add joy into the mix, you create a life that not only conserves your energy, but multiplies it. We've talked about people, we've talked about boundaries, we've talked about society's noise. But now we need to get even more real, because there's a layer most people never question. It's the identity you've unconsciously accepted. The roles, labels, and definitions you've absorbed since childhood, they're not neutral, they're energetic. Let's break that down. From the moment you're born, you're given an identity: your name, your gender, your culture, your religion, your family's beliefs. None of that was chosen consciously. It was handed to you. Then as you grow up, the world adds more. You're smart. You're lazy. You're too sensitive. You're the responsible one. Or maybe worse, you're not good enough. You always mess things up. These phrases stick. And over time, without realizing it, you become them. But here's the problem. Every identity you wear comes with an energetic cost. Because when you're trying to live up to an image, especially one that doesn't align with who you really are, you burn energy keeping the performance going. Think about that. If you've been labeled the overachiever, you might constantly chase success just to avoid the feeling of failure. If you're known as the caretaker, you might put everyone else's needs before your own, even when it's draining you. If you were told you're the quiet one, you might stay silent in situations where your truth desperately wants to be heard. That gap between your authentic self and the version you present to the world, that's where your energy leaks out. The only way to stop the leak is to take off the mask. Not all at once, but slowly, deliberately. Ask yourself, what parts of me are real and what parts are just roles I've been taught to play? This is where the shift happens. Because when you stop spending energy on being who you're supposed to be and start living as who you actually are, you reclaim power you didn't even know was yours. Here's something worth sitting with. Authenticity is efficiency. Pretending is exhausting. Performing is a full-time job. But being real, aligned, direct, present, conserves energy. It builds it. That's why people who live authentically seem magnetic. They're not burning fuel trying to be something else, they're just being. But reclaiming authenticity isn't just an emotional or psychological act. It's a spiritual one. The more honest you are with yourself, the more you begin to recognize which parts of your life were designed to keep you small. And that realization opens a new door, the opportunity to rewrite the story. Let's take a pause and go even deeper. Where in your life are you living out someone else's script? A job chosen to please your parents? A relationship you're staying in because leaving would make you the bad one? A lifestyle that looks successful but feels hollow? That's not just a life issue. That's an energy trap. And it's costing you something real. Your vitality, your creativity, your connection to self. And this brings us to something most people completely miss. You cannot reclaim your energy without confronting your story. Your personal narrative, the story you tell yourself about who you are, what you deserve, what's possible for you, acts like software running in the background. If that story is built on pain, on shame, on unworthiness, your energy will always be fractured. You'll be trying to build a new life while dragging the weight of an old identity behind you. This is why self-awareness isn't just a nice idea. It's the gateway to power. Rewriting your story isn't about pretending bad things didn't happen. It's about changing what they mean. It's about saying, that experience shaped me, but it does not define me. It's about looking at your life with honest eyes and asking, what parts of my story give me strength? Which ones steal it? And what would it look like to tell a different story? Starting now. This is where energy returns, the moment you decide your story is yours to write. Not your family's, not society's, not your past's. You take back what's been scattered. Your focus sharpens. Your mood shifts. Your choices feel different because they're coming from the core, not from the mask. And this isn't just spiritual theory, it's neurological. When you retell your story with a different meaning, you actually rewire your brain. Neuroplasticity shows us that new patterns of thought create new neural pathways, meaning your identity isn't fixed, it's fluid, and so is your energy. Now here's something wild. When you change the way you see yourself, the world starts to reflect that shift back to you. You meet new people. You notice new opportunities. Old habits start to feel foreign. And you begin to magnetize experiences that align with the real you, not the version you were pretending to be. So let this be your call to courage. Drop the roles. Step out of the script. Start questioning everything you've been told about who you are, not with anger, but with curiosity, with self-respect, with the quiet fire that says, I came here for more, and I'm not wasting another ounce of energy living a lie. That's the moment your energy stops being hijacked and starts becoming holy. There's one more place your energy gets hijacked, and it might be the hardest one to face: your attention, not your time, not just your focus, your attention, your direct line to presence, awareness, and conscious creation. Because here's the truth. The world is at war for your attention. Every app, every algorithm, every platform you open has one mission: hook your mind, fragment your awareness, and keep you from being fully here. Why? Because your attention is currency. The more distracted you are, the more easily you're influenced. The more overwhelmed your nervous system is, the less likely you are to think for yourself. This isn't paranoia. This is how modern systems work. If you can't sit with yourself, you're easier to sell to, easier to control, easier to push in a direction you didn't choose. And this is where energy loss becomes dangerous, because your attention isn't just mental, it's spiritual. It's the bridge between thought and creation. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. When you obsess over people who trigger you, you feed them. When you doom scroll through fear-based content, you energize it. When you constantly react to every notification, every headline, every piece of digital noise, you leak power bit by bit, hour by hour, and then you wonder why you feel so scattered, so tired, so unmotivated. It's not because you're broken. It's because you're energetically overdrawn. And attention is the account. If you want to take your energy back, you must reclaim your attention ruthlessly, daily, not by meditating once a week, not by deleting an app for 2 days and going back, but by remembering this one thing. You are the gatekeeper of your awareness. That means being honest, not self-punishing, but brutally clear. Ask yourself, what do I voluntarily give my attention to every day that drains me? What do I habitually check, scroll, watch, or engage with? Not because it lifts me, but because it numbs me. How often am I consuming instead of creating? And maybe the most important question of all, who benefits when I stay distracted? See, when you start asking these questions, the illusion cracks. You stop blaming yourself for feeling drained. You stop trying to motivate your way out of energetic exhaustion. And instead, you start focusing on what matters. Conscious attention hygiene. Because attention, when trained, becomes precision. And precision is power. Let's get practical. Here's how you start taking it back. Step 1. Audit your digital world. Go through your phone, your apps, your subscriptions, your feeds. Don't ask, do I like this? Ask, does this feed me or deplete me? Delete without guilt. Unfollow without explanation. Clear out without apology. This isn't about judgment. This is about energetic alignment. Step 2. Create space for input that serves you. Listen to voices that speak to your highest self. Read words that nourish your insight. Surround yourself with content that doesn't just entertain but elevates. Because when your mental environment shifts, your energy recalibrates. Step 3. Give your brain moments of silence, not silence filled with meditation apps or ambient soundtracks, real silence. Sit without stimulation. Let your nervous system unwind. Let your thoughts settle. These quiet gaps are where clarity enters. These are the places where you start to feel your energy returning. And here's the part most people miss. Reclaiming your attention doesn't mean you stop using tech, stop engaging, or move off grid. It means you use it intentionally. You choose when to plug in, and more importantly, when to unplug. You set boundaries, not just with others, but with inputs. You become the one who decides what gets your presence and what gets ignored, because the truth is, your attention is sacred. It's a resource, and it's finite. Once it's spent, it doesn't come back. And when too much of it is tied up in things that don't matter, there's no energy left for the things that do. So start noticing the little pulls. That urge to check your phone when you're anxious. That reflex to scroll when you're bored. That habit of watching 5 hours of content and calling it rest. Those aren't random. They're programmed loops. And the more you recognize them, the more you can break them. Because here's the secret. The moment you reclaim your attention, you become dangerous to the systems that once controlled you. You start thinking clearly. You start choosing differently. You stop chasing validation, drama, or distraction, and start creating, building, and being from a grounded, clear, present state. This is how you break the spell. This is how you take your energy back, one choice at a time, one moment of awareness at a time. And what you'll notice when the noise quiets is that your natural state, beneath all the confusion, is powerful, intuitive, and alive. That power was never gone. It was just scattered. And now, piece by piece, you're calling it back. There comes a point in any journey of reclaiming energy where the conversation shifts from techniques and concepts to something far more personal, ownership. Not the kind that comes with ego or control, but the kind rooted in clarity and responsibility. Because once you've seen how easily your energy can be drained by distraction, by noise, by unresolved patterns, it's no longer just about fixing the leaks. It becomes about honoring your energy so deeply that you refuse to let it be misused again. This is where everything changes. It's the moment where you stop outsourcing your emotional well-being to the world around you. You no longer wait for better timing, quieter days, or validation from people who never learned how to hold space for themselves, let alone for you. Instead, you choose to become intentional with your presence, and through that intention, your energy sharpens. It becomes more coherent, more directed, and undeniably more powerful. There's a quiet power in knowing that you no longer have to explain your boundaries, justify your needs, or negotiate your peace. People who have lived too long in survival mode often forget that their attention is their currency, and they've been spending it recklessly on things that don't replenish them. But when you begin to withdraw from those unconscious transactions, when you stop feeding systems that don't feed you back, your clarity returns, your mind gets lighter, your nervous system settles. You stop existing in reaction and start existing in resonance. What surprises many people is how subtle the transformation actually is. It doesn't arrive like a grand revelation. It arrives in the small decisions, declining the invitation that drains you, turning off the noise, stepping outside instead of scrolling, letting silence answer a question you'd usually over-explain. Each of these moments becomes a statement, not loud, not aggressive, but firm. I will not abandon myself again. At this stage, the work isn't about hustle, it's about alignment. It's about no longer leaking your presence into things that don't align with who you've become. And that means being brave enough to let certain parts of your life dissolve. Some dynamics won't survive your healing. Some routines will no longer make sense once your energy becomes clear. That's not failure, it's feedback. It's the natural consequence of becoming internally organized in a world that profits from your internal chaos. This is also where the idea of taking your energy back becomes less of a concept and more of a lived experience. There is a difference between someone who speaks about energy and someone who embodies it. You can feel it when they walk into a room. Their presence isn't loud, but it's rooted. It doesn't demand attention, but it shifts the atmosphere. These people don't have more energy than others. They've simply stopped giving it away to things that don't matter. And that's the invitation here, not to perform more, not to achieve more, but to return to yourself so completely that your energy no longer asks for permission to exist. It just does, without apology, without over-explaining, without asking anyone else to validate its presence. As you move forward, the goal isn't perfection, it's self-honesty. It's becoming deeply attuned to what expands you and what contracts you. It's noticing what quiets your spirit and what enlivens it. Because that's the real compass. That's how you protect your energy, not through rigid rules, but through moment-to-moment awareness of what you are feeding and what is feeding you in return. It's important to remember what Carl Jung once said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." At the end of the day, this entire process is not about becoming something new. It's about waking up to what's already within you and choosing moment by moment not to give that away cheaply anymore. So if your energy has been scattered, if your clarity has felt distant, or your spirit stretched too thin, know this. It's not because something is broken in you, it's because you're remembering, you're waking up. You're slowly reclaiming the parts of yourself that got lost along the way. And with every small choice to return to alignment, you are rebuilding something unshakable. And because when you protect your energy, you protect your future. You protect your creativity. You protect your peace, your focus, your joy. And most importantly, you protect your ability to live in truth. Not the truth someone sold you, but the one you were born with. That is how you take your energy back. Not all at once, but fully, steadily, and without apology. And from that place, you don't just survive, you build, you create, you lead, and this time, it's coming from power that was always yours.